Oh my God, I saw myself in that little intro. It was a good picture of me you picked. I'm so happy you picked a good one.
So
Me too.
what do you all think of the intro then? I actually
It
spent a
reminds me
bit
of like Super Mario Brothers.
yeah, I think it's
And I want to like,
I think it's a song from Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. There's this
there you go.
like
How did I know? There you go.
like there's this
Because we're 80s
video.
babies.
There's this video on YouTube called seal.mp4 where someone's basically just like edited like a seal's noise to make him just sing that song. And so like I kind of had to I had to have that as the intro. I mean,
It's perfect.
it's kind of like at the point I don't really care if everybody else likes it. For me, it's like the show is called Seal of Approval, and like you have to have seals in the intro, and you can't pick a better song than one actually sung by seals that isn't going to be copyright strikes. But anyway, hi everyone. It's been a really long. It's been much longer than I actually expected. Like I had a look at on my YouTube channel because like I know that over the last year I haven't done as much content. I've been burnt out. I've been incredibly burnt out, but several things have happened in my personal life, and I've kind of got the what would you say the fighting spirits back. And I just didn't realize like how long it actually been since I'd last did like a seal of approval or a normal video. Like it actually has been a good couple of months. But
aren't you a Pisces?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're a sensitive Pisces. Yeah.
Ah.
We gotta watch. We gotta protect you at all costs.
Aw.
Do you know Chrissy Marr, Ariel? Because you two are like the same with astrology stuff.
Me and who?
Chrissy Marr.
I think I follow her on something. Maybe Twitter. Yeah.
I feel like you guys would get along with all your astrology stuff.
You know, I believe in it.
So seal of approval's gone. You know, we've kind of changed things up a little bit here at Seal of Approval. So I know there's somebody asked where Scrump is. Well, like Scrump will be back. Like Scrump will be back. But like this week is the kind of the focus of Seal of Approval now is going to be a lot more like Trans Stupid. Where
yes, we love
talk
it.
about
plenty of that.
Yeah,
exactly. That's how I originally found you. I think that's how most people found you.
Yeah, I think it was specifically the Jessica You Need video. Like
yes.
that was I remember I was going on holiday the night before I uploaded it, and whilst I was away in Germany, like my channel just exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scrump will be in future Seal of Approval, just not this week. But he's he's still part of the Seal of Approval family. If you're dying for your Scrump fix, then go check out Starman and the Boomer, where Scrump does his streams with Trig. So go check that out on they do streams every Thursday. So go check out my friend. But yeah, so this week we're joined by I'm joined by Ariel and Mike Harlow. So you guys, I haven't spoken to you guys in quite a while. I think Mike, I might have spoke to you like a couple of weeks ago on Mars's channel. Was it a couple?
Yeah, that was a while ago, I think.
Oh, was it? Bloody hell! I really am losing track of time.
No, same. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing everything. So I feel you.
Like I blame so much of this on COVID and just fucking lockdowns. But like in the UK, we are kind of back to normal now.
Really?
Like that we have at least in England, we have like no more restrictions. Like
at
even
all?
Well, not really. Like we can put on face masks on trains, but barely anyone does that.
Wow.
Like
most people are still doing it here in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're all idiots here.
Yeah, America just seems really strange for it all, just because of the people over there seem to be a lot more hyper one way or the other compared to over here, which is just kind of a little more, I don't know, a little bit more kind of chilled. Right. But this tonight's up for COVID talk because I've got to bring back probably the most important part of Seal of Approval, and that is, of course, the Seals of News. This is the Seals of News.
This is what we're discussing today.
Wait, I really need to know. Like, I've always wondered, what is it with you and seals? Is it just you really like seals, or you have seals, or
he's obsessed?
He's
obsessed with seals the way I'm obsessed with cats.
I love seals. I find seals to be a very, very underrated animal. Like, so many people will just make jokes about seal clubbing and stuff, but they don't kind of sit back and look at just how adorable seals are. And I maintain that baby seals are the cutest animals on the planet. Like, they are, they are even cuter than kittens. And Cammy was an incredibly cute kitten. I mean, she's now like an absolutely gorgeous cat, but just look at their little faces. Like they come bouncing towards you with all this cringy news, and like you can't turn them away. You can't say like, away with you, seal. Like, no, you invite them in for a nice warm mug of cocoa and some fibs.
Listen to what that face tells you.
Exactly. So we have 4 stories this evening. So we have the Rowling seal, the Redmayne seal, the gay Santa seal, and the fat seal. And so all of this is related to LGBTQIA++ news because stupidity is intersectional. I still don't know why that became a catchphrase.
Because it's perfect.
JS Powell with the £2. We've missed you, Rose of Dawn. Thanks. I really have missed all of you as well. I really am sorry for how flaky I've been this year. I really am trying my best to make this a proper comeback because, like I said, I'm actually really fired up about so much of this stuff. A lot of it's just because I felt like for a while I'd said everything that I need to say, but then I realized none of this is going away at all. Like, it's impossible to escape it. In fact, it just seems to be escalating like month by month, year by year. And if you don't stand up and say something against it, like, even if it's coming at you like a massive tidal wave, you still need to act as some sort of barrier to, get people to safety and actually explain what's happening before everything goes to shit. Which is why we're going to make fun of these 4 stories. So Ariel, would you like to pick a seal?
I want to pick the J.K. Rowling seal because she follows me on Twitter. That's like my favorite. Oh. No offense to anybody that also follows me, but she's my favorite follower. Like, how could you?
She follows you?
I know she only follows like 800 people. She's
following you.
I think she's another Dave Rubin and Ariel and all of us, like people that were kind of on the left that realized.
Can I show you guys something? Can I show you guys something?
Did she follow you? No, I know she sent you roses, right? She follows you too?
What? She got followed me?
Yes. See, she only follows like 900 people.
Okay, you gotta follow me.
You have to be a woman and call out the bullshit.
Like, I don't often flex. I don't often flex about what I do with my channel and stuff. But having J.K. Rowling as like a fan, and like when she sent me those flowers, like, I don't give a shit. Like, these are the defining moments of my career.
Same.
As a YouTuber. So
childhood. Yeah. So what happened? Exactly. So what happened with the story? From what I know about it is 3 trans activists. I don't think any of these people were actually trans, by the way, were they?
Well, as far as I'm aware,
one of them was like a drag queen.
I think 2 of them are drag performers.
Okay, so they're not trans.
Yeah, so 2 of them are drag performers, and one of them is just an actress. A gay guy. So
one of them is an actress.
I thought it was a gay guy. Maybe not.
Holly Stars and Richard Energy are the drag performers. Richard Energy, I don't know whether I would guess that the drag performers identify as non-binary, because this is something I've noticed over the last couple of years. This is becoming increasingly common for drag performers to come out as NB. It's almost like they kind of are starting to see the argument from radical feminists that maybe drag is almost like woman face. And so it doesn't become problematic if you can then identify as a minority.
Face too. It's trans face.
Well, look at the way that they describe drag nowadays, where it's an expression. It's an expression of my gender. Like it used to just be you put on a frock or whatever, and it's still an art form.
Yeah, it used to be making fun of gender, right?
Yeah, but now it's celebrating, and it's
right.
Sorry, I just needed to take a drink.
No, okay.
I don't blame you.
So this is the way that Pink News has worded what happened. J.K. Rowling condemns actors who held trans rights protest outside her house. So the article makes no real reference to why anyone is upset with what happened. It doesn't really go into doxing or the fact that her private home was targeted, because a lot of the trans activist side actually think it's fine to dox J.K. Rowling and target her home. And they will often try and explain away and give stupid reasons as to why this isn't actually doxing. So here's one tweet that I've seen. Let me just bring this up. Oh no, I just doxed J.K. Rowling, even though her address is publicly available online. Next, I will dox famous US President Joe Biden by looking up the address of the White House, which is publicly available online, so you understand how dumb this is. So there have been plenty. So this one only has 52 likes, but there have been a lot of tweets like this that have had thousands of likes.
It's still just because her address is online doesn't mean that it's okay to show up there.
Yeah,
uninvited.
But that's the
main argument. Like, yes, it's not okay to dox somebody, but it's also not okay to show up their house randomly.
So what's particularly funny about this is that this is not the house in question. This is not the one that the activist turned up at. This is just a property that J.K. Rowling has bought. It's miles away from.
Right.
Yeah, it's miles away from
Edinburgh.
Yeah, it's miles away from Edinburgh. This is not the house in question. They also will talk about, it's on, it's mentioned on government websites like Explore Edinburgh, Visit Edinburgh, something like that, which isn't a government website.
I highly doubt that, but
it's not. Even news articles which have discussed the things like bushes growing in her garden that are getting too big or whatever, they don't actually give out what her address is, because that's private information, and to do that would be illegal. But the activists who decided to turn up, there they are outside the house. So the kind of like the house name and number is.
Can you just talk about how extra their outfits are? They had a dress in pink, white, and blue for the trans flag.
So it looks like Fräulein Maria was on crack when she made those out of the drapes.
So the one on the left looks exactly like Joe Pesci from Home Alone.
Oh!
just down to the
because of the face and because of the height and the hat. Yeah, everything.
The one on the right looks like Joan Cusack in Addams Family Values after she's electrocuted.
Oh my, yes.
And the middle one just looks like a butch lesbian.
The middle one just looks sad. The middle one just looks really, really sad. Like, they all look really sad.
They are.
Well, they look like a barrel of laughs.
So, the protest was held on Trans Day of Remembrance Eve, which, Trans Day of Remembrance being the holiest
20th,
day in the trans calendar. Yep, that's right.
Since 2 days before, that was the last trans holiday.
And it's basically, if you think of Trans Awareness Week as Ramadan, Trans Day of Remembrance is Eid. So it comes it's the big celebration right at the end of the sad part, because the trans community is so obsessed with feeling sorry for themselves and making themselves out to be victims. What they really look forward to is the day where they can all look really, really sad and pretend that they care about people who died in a country that they have absolutely nothing to do with, and then pretend that this somehow impacts them, and then they will talk about how how at risk they are because a prostitute in Brazil was murdered, and so therefore the UK has to change its laws.
Yeah, but then at the same time they're also favoring countries like like Iraq and whoever, Middle Eastern
Palestine,
countries.
Queers for Palestine.
Oh,
Right.
God.
And these, yes. And then when Israel comes along, and it's literally the only country in the Middle East that's pro LGBT, like they shit on them. It's just
Like-
it's bizarre hypocrisy.
Also,
I
remember when drag queens used to be fun and have a sense of humor and be funny? Like, look at this person.
Well, look
They
at
make everything miserable.
like I used to watch RuPaul's Drag Race a lot. Like in the early seasons, that was a lot of fun, but it became very, very clear that they started to push agendas with the queens that would regularly get through week after week. I think the very last season I watched was the one where they had a fat drag queen called Eureka, who has now naturally, because as I said before, they all have their own genders now.
She came out as non-binary.
Is non-binary, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone saw that one coming. This is the last season I watched, and I was watching it with my friend Chloe, proper horror show. And like Eureka was terrible. Every single week she was terrible. But she would still make it through the lip sync for the life every week, even though she was bad. Like it was clear that they were trying to set her up as first fat winner of we'll get into fat stuff in a bit. But like it was obvious what they were trying to set her up for until it just became clear that she was just way out of her depth, and eventually she bowed out. But yeah, it's like drag queens just aren't as fun anymore. It's now like there's always been a political slant to drag. I get that. But like so much entertainment recently, they've forgotten the main point of entertainment is to entertain and not to preach. Like something I wanted to show everyone whilst we're on the subject of J.K. Rowling is a clip from the latest Family Guy episode. I believe it's the very latest one. I've kind of gone off Family Guy a little bit because it's become an incredibly preachy show.
Well, did you hear where they said they're not going to do gay jokes anymore?
Yeah, they're not doing gay jokes. They're not they're not doing any of the jokes that their audience, like the actual audience, isn't interested in any of their stuff.
Right.
So instead, they're appealing to people
that
who
don't even
aren't
watch the
fans. Show. And so, if you want an example of how bad it's got, like listen to this clip about J.K. Rowling. And so, like the setup is, let me just play from the start.
Thing I'm good at. I am to birthdays what J.K. Rowling is to now problematic wizard stories.
Perhaps Slytherin, or maybe Hufflepuff, or trans women aren't really women.
Oh, wait, what?
I mean, the first two things. Okay, who's the next girl or boy? There's only those two.
Thing I'm good at.
It's like a parody of the parody. It's like, oh my god.
Good.
It's like a parody of woke humor. How horrible! Like, I don't think that was their intention, though.
I don't think the intention of it is basically set up as the hat is really problematic,
right?
And
she's like, wait, what?
It's like the comments it makes are the same things that the Family Guy writers would push like years ago, and now I think Seth MacFarlane got burned quite badly by trans activists last year. And so I believe so. I can't remember the exact details, but I remember seeing some people talk about it. And so I think this is their way of kind of, making it up to them. It's like, oh, the joke is like, because this hat is so problematic. It says trans women aren't women when J.K. Rowling believes that. How problematic.
Everything's a problem.
Everything's a problem. But like, humor is just, no, entertainment is just not entertainment anymore. Like Family Guy just pushes constant like leftist like messages nowadays.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's like they can't seem to make a single episode without a joke which is basically Republicans bad or specifically Republican racist.
Okay,
like,
I haven't watched
every episode. They will have at least one like Republican or right-wing figure, and the joke is this person is a racist. Like they basically
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I think it shows like how miserable and humorless the entire alphabet cult is nowadays. It's every letter, it's every group. And it's just so sad when you think back and realize for how long LGBT people were really at the forefront of comedy and art and transgression. And now it's like we're only at the forefront of censorship.
Yeah, absolutely. So does anyone, because I know we got a shorter episode today. We're only on for about an hour, so we need to jump through the stories. So has anyone got anything else that they want to say about J.K. Rowling?
Love.
I think she said something really poignant, that she said something along the lines of, if you want to show that your movement is not a threat to women, then just an idea, maybe stop harassing and threatening and doxing them. And again, it's as always, it's people who aren't even transgender. Which is why I think it really shows why it is just so important for us to really fight for words having specific definitions. Because that is how they get their foot in the door for all of these bad actors and everyone else to come in and take control. Even when they have, like, whenever there's some instance of like someone being assaulted in a bathroom, it is so rarely an actual transgender person. It's some guy who decides to put on a skirt and say, today I feel like my name is friggin' like Jennifer or something. I don't know, but
I think the problem with that isn't it, like you said, it's rarely a trans person. It's just someone who's basically playing the game. They're playing the game. The policies that are being pushed enable that kind of thing to happen. And this is one of the big problems of having an open border on what constitutes being trans.
Ooh, I like that. That's very well said.
The open border.
I like that.
It's one of my favorite expressions. Like I've used it. I've used it in quite a lot of different like actual kind of appearances in like the media and stuff. I just love saying it. So we should move on to the seals of news again. But if everyone wants to know what my thoughts are, more of my thoughts on what happened, then check out my latest video. Which went up yesterday, because I haven't uploaded in such a long time, YouTube wouldn't have promoted the video to anyone, so you might not have seen it on your feeds or anything like that. But go check out the channel; it is there. I would really appreciate it if you watched it and you shared the video. Especially I've got a video lined up for next week already, which I've been working on. So regular content is actually here now. But yeah, go check it out. So there's quite a few points in there that I'd like people to hear. We've got some super chats that have come in. So Frederick with the 20 SEK. J.K. Rowling on seal of approval when? God, I would love J.K. Rowling to come on this show. I would love it. Like I don't think that's likely to happen. But I mean, I know that I think the trigonometry guys have been trying to get her on the channel as well, and I just don't think that's gonna. I somehow don't think that's going to happen. A James 88 with the 449. Some of these activists are like the skid mark on the toilet bowl of society.
Absolutely.
Legit. So Mikey, we got 3 stories left. We've got the Redmayne seal, the gay Santa seal, and the fat seal.
Ooh, that's I
don't think I've seen the gay Santa story yet.
Have you not?
It's gross.
Is it terrible?
Shall we go for gay Santa?
Let's go for that.
Go with gay Santa.
I haven't seen it.
Right. Okay. I thought I had it up then.
If you ever needed proof that it's not actual gay people behind this shit or not actual trans people, just wait.
God damn it. I actually had the
So go to the next story.
There it is. Found it. Right. So this is basically this relates to an advert in Norway, which is their 2021 Christmas advert.
No.
In Norway.
Says this is Merry Christmas.
What the fuck? What an awkward first 5 seconds of a commercial, by the way.
Merry Christmas.
That was the whole
Merry Christmas, kids.
Was that was a real commercial?
Yep, this is a real life commercial. Like I'm sure this is something which everyone has thought of when they were watching it. This meme. Post office.
Yeah.
Are you sure this will help us sell more stamps?
Listen, I come from a background in advertising, so I know where people's heads are at when they're creating these ads. Like I literally worked in ad agencies for the first 3-4 years of my life after college before starting to be a full-time YouTuber. And this is not it. Like I know what they're trying to do. Like I've been in that situation, so I know what the companies are trying to. I know what the companies are saying, right? They're like, we have to be woke. We got to do this. We have to show that we love everybody and da 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 da. Right? Like we want to be the, we want to be the most open brand that we can be and love and acceptance of everybody. But like, that's not what advertising is, right? Advertising is recognizing the audience that you want. And not straying from that. Like the same thing with YouTubers, right? Like one of my favorite quotes when I first started making content, because I would make certain videos and people would unsubscribe from me and I would get upset. And I can't remember who it was that said it, but somebody had said to me years ago, don't make content for the audience you have, make content for the audience you want to have.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's like, why are all these companies being so woke and shitting on their previous audiences? It doesn't, like,
what are they even selling?
It doesn't make sense to me.
Like it's post. It's the postman. The what? The postal service. So when to send because you're sending off Christmas cards and stuff. So you should have it. First of all, Santa cheating on Mrs. Claus. Like
it was a successful ad because it makes me want to rip my eyes out and mail them to the postal service.
Like I'm sure that this is them trying to be, like what's the right word to describe it? They want to be, they want to have the kind of the reaction that we're giving, which is just this is stupid. So then they can double down.
I don't think that's going to get me to want to use the postal service. No. Is the UK suffering with their postal service the way we are here in America?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
this is in Norway. This is an advert from Norway, so this isn't the
from
UK's
Norway,
post
right?
office.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So apparently, the advert is to celebrate 50 years of homosexuality being decriminalized in Norway.
And this makes you want it to be criminalized again.
I just don't understand. I don't think it's a good thing to make Santa gay, like, because he's not, like, the original concept of him was not a gay person. Like, create a new character, create something new. Don't I don't know.
What self-respecting homosexual would make out with that disgusting, dirty, chimney-stained beard? Did you see the other guy, like, for an old man, he's not horrible looking. Like, he's got the Botox. His eyebrows are practically pulled to the back of his head. He is not going to be making out with that. Like, God, he looks like the guy. Did you ever see the episode of Tales from the Crypt with the serial killer Santa? That's what this looks like. I would rather make out with the inside of a blender.
Like, he does. The Santa does look quite dirty. Like, he does look quite dirty in this one. Like, I get that he's been down chimneys and stuff, but it could have at least been like a big jolly. I don't know.
Like, Santa.
I was gonna say Santa comes down the chimney. He doesn't go up the chimney. That's so bad.
I'm still sure that they're
directing this at a very vain people. So let's make him cute.
like, I'm still sure that they know what they're doing there. I
They
still
might.
think that they want this kind of reaction because, like, so many companies are doing it, and then when they get we saw this with John Lewis in the UK a couple of weeks ago when they did the advert of the kid dressed as a drag queen destroying the house. And the advert gained a lot of flack for two reasons. One, because the kid destroying the house wouldn't be insured, because the kid's doing it on purpose. And two, it's like, this is kind of like there's an argument that it was pushing trans kids and, like all this kind of like drag queen story time kind of stuff. And so when the advert was eventually banned because it was effectively false advertising due to the insurance. I know it's a stupid hang up for me to have, but it did really annoy me that it's just, they would never insure it. John Lewis doubled down on that. I was like, we're really glad to have such a progressive advert. And they did a similar thing with their Christmas advert this year where they have some sort of like androgynous alien thing, which looks really creepy, that ends up kissing this 10-year-old boy.
What?
Yeah, it's a really, really, really creepy advert. It's really creepy. It's not a pleasant advert at all. Just that they have this like really androgynous alien child thing. I hope it's a child because it kisses a 10-year-old boy. So what? It's not a great advert. But again, like they can double down on we're spreading a good message, and they'll have a load of likes on social media. But again, none of these people are actually going to buy the product anyway because they had no interest in product in the first place.
No, they just want to complain.
Exactly. So got some news, more super chats come through. Volcanius Rex at the $5. Be right back. Bleaching my eyes out. That's at the the gay Santa video. Colin Turner with the £10. Why off camera, Rose? We haven't seen you in ages. Reason why I'm not on camera is because I just got in from work and I look incredibly rough, and I think I'm coming down with something.
I haven't seen this. I just signed into Facebook, and it's on my Facebook page now. LGBT News just posted it.
Yeah, it's it's like so many places are just kind of saying like, isn't this heartwarming? Isn't it really heartwarming?
No!
It's really not. This is just kind of this is just purposefully sensationalized to get a reaction. Like, again, like right. We're giving them. I feel stupid because I'm giving them exactly what they want.
Yeah, but is that reaction going to create more sales? I don't think so. Oh. I don't. No,
I don't think
that's
it will
coming
either.
from someone that was in advertising that studied it. I don't think. It's
but you're gonna have activists within the advertising department, within some sort of HR department, within a department of the business that will have really pushed the idea that this will win us social credit with certain demographics, because that's what always happens. All of this stuff just
might,
comes
but I still don't think it's going to translate to money.
No, it won't. No, you're absolutely right. It won't. No, they don't, because they will have. They'll have someone,
and they don't care.
Yeah, because they will have someone who says that the message is more important. We have a social duty. Whenever you hear a business say we have a social duty to push for, like trans acceptance, like LGBTQIA plus identities and stuff like that. Like they don't have any kind of responsibility to do that. Like their responsibility is to make product and sell product to people and make people think they need product. I don't want to be getting, any kind of morality lessons from a corporation. Like we've all seen how dodgy
profits are for.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen like what's happening with the Ghislaine Maxwell case, and like some of the people who are, some of the companies like that are being involved in that, or the people who, people are bringing cases against. You got the big companies like Universal and Disney and stuff. Like, you don't really want to be taking morality lessons from any of these people at all. All of this is just internal activists saying this will make us look good. You can guarantee that, Ariel, that you're absolutely right, and this is not translating into sales because they're alienating the people who actually want their product, and they're focusing on people who, one, don't really want the product in the first place, and two, will get incredibly pissed off the second you make even the slightest microaggression towards them. I mean, how with the Cowboy Bebop remake on Netflix, they got a non-binary character playing I never watched Cowboy Bebop, so I don't know a lot of details about the characters. But there's one character in the anime who's apparently like a guy who is forced to take like female hormones in some sort of military academy or whatever. And like they've now changed that character into a non-binary character. And some people in the community got pissed off at that because it was erasing a certain type of trans story. And then you had another character who's another non-binary played by a non-binary, and people were upset because that character had darker skin in the anime than the actor does. So you can never win with these audiences. They don't want your they don't want to give you their money, so don't bother trying to deal with them.
No, they don't.
So does anyone have anything else that they want to say about the gay Santa?
Gross. I was just going to say, from what you were saying real quick, is I think that this is a really key point of how actual transgender people are hurt much more by these batshit crazy activists than they are by any of the things that they complain about, because they are turning trans people into being totally unemployable. I mean, you think if you're Netflix, if you're, anything that they've complained about, like, would you be willing to hire trans people so much now, thinking that, like, after they're portraying this image of them who's going to be offended by everything and walk out and protest every little thing, every joke, like, they're making them unemployable.
Yeah, because you're going to get you're going to feel like they're too sensitive to employ, that they will always eventually cause a problem.
Yeah, I think people were saying that. Sorry, I'm cutting my tag off my shirt. People were saying that in regards to the Me Too movement, when it got too much. Yes. People were afraid to hire women.
Yeah.
You
will see the same thing happening with LGBT people. Trans people specifically. Sure. You will see it. You will. So back to our good friends, the Seals of News. So we're getting through the stories and nice beats this week. But we got two more stories. We got the Fat Seal and we got the Redmayne Seal. Now, like I'll admit, I really do want to talk about the fat one.
I want to talk about Redmayne too.
Fat one? Talk about the fat one. Go.
I don't know the fat one. Who's the fat one?
Let's do, just in case we run out of time, let's do the fat one, because I really, really want to talk about the fat one. I came across it earlier. So friend of the channel, Harry Ingladive, does a weekly live stream called Laughing at the Guardian, where he pulls up stories from the Guardian and takes a piss out of them. I'm kind of thinking of making Laughing at Pink News a section of this, because they have a lot of incredible opinion pieces, and this one is this is something special. Fat trans people are having their lives put on hold because of devastating medical fat phobia.
Fat phobia.
So trans people are used to fighting for access to gender-affirming healthcare, but for some, fat phobia is yet another barrier. Running the gauntlet of NHS gender identity clinics for hormone replacement therapy and surgeries has become a trans rite of passage, one that's especially fraught if you're a person of colour or marginalised in other ways. Like, no.
Those are the same thing.
Being fat is one such factor that can lower your prospects of medically transitioning. Although known to be inaccurate, particularly for people of colour, BMI is used across NHS and private medical services to determine eligibility for life-changing surgeries. Gee, I wonder who thinks that this is not accurate.
Again, who decided that?
Just to make it clear for everyone, the reason why BMI is important to take into account when, before you go under a surgery, and I know this from watching shows like My 600-Pound Life and stuff. So
it has to do with I can't even think of what it's called. What is it called? What they put you under with?
So a lot of it is to do with the anesthetic.
Yeah, right. That's what I.
So the heavier you are, the more likely it is for something like anesthetic to cause breathing problems whilst you're under, which is incredibly dangerous.
Right.
Being overweight can also affect the amount of time it takes to recover. It can also, especially if you're being bedbound as a result, for a lot of gender surgeries, yeah, you're going to be in bed for a while. You could develop deep vein thrombosis, which is, more prevalent in fat people. There are a lot of different factors to take in, which is why it's always recommended that you try and lose weight before surgery, even if it's just to be healthier. But this article is very much kind of dictated by people with very, very interesting job titles. But I want to read out this story here, this heartbreaking story, just to show the cruelty of the NHS. Nathan, 25, is a trans man who developed an eating disorder after being made to lose weight for top surgery. He could have avoided a grueling crush diet that he had been told his BMI limits varies across surgeons. Sorry.
Can I say something that might be taken the wrong way? But like, is there a possibility that people have that have body dysmorphia because they're so fat and it's not gender dysphoria?
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious. Yeah.
I think it's like a whole mental illness combined. I'm not talking about actual trans people. I'm talking about the trans trenders. Somebody just tweeted at me before we went on. I posted I was going to be out here, and some person was like, "Why would you want to hang out with bigots?" And I clicked on her page, and it's like autistic and this condition and this condition. It's just every time. Munchausen syndrome.
Well, these are people who basically have made the pilgrimage from Tumblr. After Tumblr banned porn, all the trans activists moved over to Twitter. Mm-hmm. So, again, that kind of explains, going back to the topic of J.K. Rowling, I think that explains why so many of them have it out for her. I mean, on Tumblr, the three big fan bases were like Doctor Who, Harry Potter, and like Sherlock. The show with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah.
Those were like the ones that like the three big fan bases. So basically, J.K. Rowling, being the creator of one of the precious, like, kind of fan cultures, like she went off topic. I think that's one of the reasons why they hate her so much, because they expect her to be that. But just to go back to the story of Nathan. Nathan rapidly lowered his BMI from 38 to 35.8 through an intense 20 hours a week exercise and no carb regime.
For you.
He was so active, he began building muscle at a weight preventing weight loss.
Literally shaking.
Like, his body was actually getting healthier. Like, it's a lot of this will take into account the actual that it's not as simple as just whether or not you're at a certain weight. They do take things like muscle into account. And fat activists don't even care about muscle anyway. They only care about fat. So that's almost a redundant point if they're trying to say, well, he wasn't losing weight because he was building muscle. Like, that's good.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Well, and again, this is just another way that these activists actively harm the people that they claim to help. Yeah. Like, it's just like misery loves company, and that's what they're looking for right now. These miserable people are looking for a whole lot of company.
Yeah, so much of progressive activism is just simply based around grievance. It's based around misery. You're right. It's based around the hatred for a straw man group that you claim, they have it so much better than us, when really there's barely a difference in the way in which
there's no accountability.
There's zero accountability.
No.
So this is kind of the extent of Nathan's story, that he was so active, he began building up muscle. This wasn't satisfactory, so he is asked to lose a further 2 kilos in 10 days to qualify for surgery. How fat was he?
How dare the doctor tell him how to,
how
to be healthier?
Again, BMI is important to
These are the same people that say trust the science.
Yeah, trust the science, but not the science
that tells you to lose weight.
Yeah, not the inconvenient science. Not the inconvenient science. Soon they'll get a fat studies activist to, you know, basically just write off the idea of BMI in the same way that they've had, you know, gender studies majors basically say that, yep, like, you know, there's thousands of genders. I did a course saying there's thousands of genders, so therefore there's thousands of genders.
They think that they can will things into existence, and that just because they say something out loud makes it true. I mean, these people are anti-science, anti-medicine, anti-biology, anti-reality.
Mm-hmm.
And they want us to all join them in playing make-believe. And a lot more people need to get comfortable with the word no. Just say no. Yeah. We need to bring back that campaign for these people.
Another thing which is really telling about this article is the way in which they frame all the fat people as having, you know, they all have like eating disorders were unilaterally neither raised nor considered by surgeons asking patients for drastic weight loss. It just sounds like all this stuff. It just sounds like they're just piling on excuses, like they pile on pounds. Like it just comes across as really kind of like a void of, like, you know, it's completely void of reality. Like so much of, like, of, you know, I'm trying to lose weight at the moment. I'm not going to pretend I'm a skinny bitch right now, but, you know, watch my 600-pound life and listen to Dr. Nazardin. A lot of these people who say, you know, I have an eating disorder, it's a lot of it is just simply they just eat so much and they just don't think about it and they don't really want to change it. And it's something which my 600-pound life in particular has really taught me, that you have these people who are you know, they're considered death fat, like, you know, they're weighing close to like half a ton, and
insane.
Like that, you know, they will take up an entire bed, and like they will come out with these excuses. They always come out with these excuses as to why they are the size that they are. There's always somebody else to blame. It's never them. You know, they've got water weight. They have this condition which means that they have to always eat and pile it on. You know, calories in, calories out. You just cut down what you eat. And like, if you do have something like an eating disorder, then you need to, you know, you will need to get therapy for that. But so much of the time, and in fact, like Mike pointed out earlier, where you have all these accounts with all these various, like, you know, illnesses and conditions and stuff on. So much of this is just kind of, you know, self-referred. It's just, well, I think I have this, and therefore I have this. And it's all of it's just a way of removing any kind of responsibility for you. Being overweight before you go on to surgery is very dangerous, especially if you're morbidly obese. Like, I don't have much of an idea of how fat a lot of these people are, but that seems to me that a lot of these will be morbidly obese with BMIs like that.
And if you're a trans guy, I'm not a trans guy, obviously, but like if I was, wouldn't you want to be as skinny as possible? And I say that because, like, the skinnier you are, the thinner you are, not skinny, but the thinner you are, the less breasts you usually have, and the less hips like you'll have. Like, you will look more male, right? Like, you'll have more masculine features if you weigh less. Like, whatever. These people aren't making any sense to me.
No, but I'll bet you that's why this isn't an actual transgender person. They probably haven't even put that much thought into it.
I did also notice that as someone who loves my 600-pound life, I do love this bit here. It's Lee Hulme, 38, had a knee injury and back pain when they were told they needed to lose weight for lower surgery. Like, in my 600-pound life, almost every single episode, there's always someone who says, "Oh, my leg." It's just such it's such a common it's such a common ailment. It's like, oh, my knees, guys. I can't walk. Can't walk my knees. It's like, and then Dr. Now would just tell these people to grow a fucking spine, right, and just actually, you know, get a grip and lose the weight, even if it takes you longer than you would like. I mean, it's when you're at such a weight where it's dangerous to perform surgery on you, you need to do something about it. And it's just so much of this is just pity me, pity me, pity me. It's all somebody else's problems. Like, it's, you know, they mentioned the magical trans suicide number because it's a story on trans people. Of course, they have to mention it. It's, you know, it's just a cliche at this point. But like, listen to this guy who had, like, Dr. Francis Ray White, a non-binary sociologist and fat studies scholar.
Ugh.
Losing weight for best. Dr. White is having having like their own like Alex Jones moment here. You know, like the globalists are wanting to create a body that is cis-passing and gender conforming, and fat bodies don't gender conform. People recognize a fat guy when they see it. The saying, "It's not over till the fat lady sings." People understand what a fat man and a fat woman look like. It's how both of these, like they've been figures in comedy. It's been shown like figures of like gratuitous, like wealth, or like also you can argue that there's been stigmas around being fat in society. You can absolutely argue that, but this idea that there's like fat bodies simply don't conform. Or if you've got someone just watch an episode of My 600-Pound Life and you will instantly know the gender of any of these people.
And when you're that obese, that's not a body, it is a prison. Like, you can think you're rebelling against the system, whatever. Like, you're only hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was younger, I lost like 100 pounds. I used to be fat. There is nothing that feels better than being in shape, believe me. But that's what. But they don't want people to have that sense of accomplishment, that sense of true inner security and confidence. They just want people to wallow in their misery with them and feel like they're a victim.
And they've used another of their favorite expressions. There's a sense in which the fat trans person can never exist because nobody will create them surgically. They always talk about existence. You want me to not exist? We don't exist. We don't exist. It's like
histrionics.
Somebody, I have to say this. Somebody commented, and I trying to hold my laughter, and they said, "I've made a breakthrough in fat studies. Put down the fork."
Brilliant. The whole another interesting takeaway from this article is, if you remember the article on the BBC from a couple of weeks ago, the one that I was mentioned in, about women who've been pressured into accepting trans women as sexual partners. And the trans community had a massive uproar saying, well, there weren't enough opposing voices in it. And by that, they mean they wanted it to be framed entirely around their own arguments. But I digress. In this one here, all they have is just activists. All of this is just activists. There aren't actual, surgeons. There's no surgeons in this article. There's no actual scientists. I'm sorry, but Dr. Francis Ray White might have a doctor as a title, but fat studies scholar. Like, what are they actually going to be studying? Just like a picture of like a fat man and say, yep, he's fat.
Here's what not to do.
I have concluded this man is fat. Calories in, calories out. This is such
what a waste of money and time and talent.
This is an incredibly special article as well. I'm really kind of glad that I discovered.
And of course, it's from Pink News.
Oh, they are the worst of the worst.
Yeah, and what I'm going to aim to do is more discovery of Pink News. Pink News is wonderful. Wonderful opinion pieces just like this, because it is a treasure. It's a true treasure trove. So
just make more videos. We need you back.
I am back, bitches. Miles Kinslow with the $5. Hey guys, Biden is confused as the plus size model Tess Holiday, believing she was anorexic. Honestly, don't see a second term.
Tess Holiday claimed that she was anorexic before?
Yes, she's claimed to be anorexic.
It's the worst.
The only
and then
reason,
she got over her anorexia.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know. I was going to say the only reason I think that sounds like it could be true is because if you do have an eating disorder, it's likely that you can have another one.
So with that, we have one last seal to go over quickly. which is the Eddie Redmayne the seal. So have either of you seen the story?
No, I
I've
haven't.
heard a little bit about it.
Right. So Eddie Redmayne regrets playing trans woman in The Danish Girl, saying it was a mistake.
Then give back your Oscar. Oh, you won't do that because the words mean nothing.
So he says, I wouldn't take it on now. I made that film with the best intentions, but I think it was a mistake. Many people don't have a chair at the table when it comes to casting roles for TV and film, and there must be a leveling. There was some criticism of Redmayne's casting at the time, with many saying a trans person should have been chosen instead, and the star admitting that there have been years of cisgender success on the back of trans stories. But he said he felt honoured to be a part of the discussion and an ally of the trans community. And then they just mentioned J.K. Rowling has been, attacked again.
Really annoying. Annoying. I'm just annoyed at everybody.
What I find weird about this story in particular is in a Danish Girl. It shows the transition. So he starts off as a guy, ends up as a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to have like a trans woman as actor,
she would have to Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that would be
triggering.
really awkward. Like if it's one thing if you have a character who is a trans woman throughout the film, but it's another if you're showing a transition. Otherwise.
Right.
Like, there are, like, for example, if
it's
you
putting
were
them
to...
in, it's putting them in a triggering situation potentially,
well,
like
yeah.
an actual triggering.
Yes, because how many trans women are comfortable being read as a guy? Not many.
Even Laverne Cox in Orange Is the New Black, her brother played her before she transitioned. Like her brother wasn't even an actor. He did pretty well as far as I'm concerned in the show.
He actually did, but like that's a unique
problematic too if they played both.
Yeah, but that's a unique situation because, like, she has a brother who's willing to do that. And
exactly.
I don't think many trans actors would have that same circumstance. But if it was someone like a trans actress who passes, so let's say Talisa Garcia. Let me just bring up a picture.
Hi, Mars. Mars is in here, everybody.
Mars.
Hi, Mars.
I love him.
Me too.
Me
I
too.
got to meet him in Kansas. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Oh, so you actually met up with Mars?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
I need to come over to America.
You're welcome to stay at my place, even though it's tiny.
Well, I'm staying mine, even though it's a mess.
So this is Talisa Garcia. So I chose her because she actually is a trans actress.
Mm-hmm.
So she's appeared in a couple of different shows. I think she's appeared in a couple of movies as well. Like, she looks absolutely gorgeous. Like this isn't the best picture because it was small. I clicked on the wrong one. But like, she's absolutely gorgeous. Could you? I don't like. She wouldn't be able to pull off being a guy. She wouldn't be able to pull off being a guy.
She would have unless she had like a fake face stuff put on her face.
She would have to be.
But then they wouldn't be happy with that either.
Well, no, she wouldn't
They'd
be
say
able.
It's violence.
Well, no, like she's. I should add that she is that she's very very reasonable when it comes to like the argument of like trans stuff. She's on our side.
Good.
So she's not someone. Talisa Garcia. I've met up with her a couple of times. She's absolutely lovely.
Aw.
She's absolutely lovely. Beautiful inside and out.
You know what I think is interesting though with this story is so he went on this apology tour about that. Do you think that's enough for them?
Of course it won't be.
So now he's in Cabaret on the West End or something, playing the MC role, and they're flipping out about that he's straight, playing a queer character,
already?
even though the character in the show has no stated sexual orientation. And the person Joel Grey played him in the movie, won an Oscar. He was straight at the time, supposedly. I just think it's so ridiculous that they want to get rid of any straight person playing
Look what Mars said. Sorry.
What?
Look what Mars said. There he goes. Look.
Trans women are women, but only trans women can play trans women because trans women aren't women. Yeah.
We've been saying it.
Fair point. So yeah, I don't quite get why he feel like I kind of understand in a way why you'd feel like he had to grovel because
they're
so
all
many
scared
people
of the
think
cult.
so many people like are genuinely terrified of them. Like so many people are genuinely terrified of them because they do have some institutional powers. Like they will whine about being oppressed, but they have friends in high places, and they will mandate stuff that like 10 years ago would sound absolutely insane, but now we have to accept that there are thousands of genders and each one of them is special and real. But if you actually ask what they mean, they'll just say, oh, you should just Google it. And then you Google it and you can't find any information on it at all that isn't just woke garbage. But you still got to accept it as real.
There's no other group on Earth that has the power to change biology, change meanings of words, change the dictionary.
Yes.
There's never been a single other group ever in the West that's had the power to, by force of law, force words into your mouth.
Yeah. Yep. They basically change everyone's understanding of reality. And that's one of their aims. It's one of their aims. Queer theory wants to deconstruct basically society's ideas of sexuality and gender. Like it's like what their ultimate aim for is for nothing to be taboo. Like hell, I've read a lot of early gay theory stuff, or queer theory stuff specifically, and just the amount of time they talk about having sex in the street, and that's okay. It's one of the strangest things about early queer theory is they talk more about pedophilia than they do about trans people. Like they barely mention trans people, but they will often speak in support of NAMBLA. So it's
and certainly none of them are speaking against any, would say, in terms of like the.
Oh no, they like a lot of them will fully support the idea of adults having sex with children.
Yeah, no.
It's one like it might not be. I'm not saying that that's a common view among LGBT activists now, but in early queer theory, it's definitely a thing. They'll just ignore it. But many of the books and the articles openly support pedophilia.
And I think they've been so conditioned to think you have to accept everything, that they have no problem with it. Sorry, I don't know why my thing is being weird.
Okay.
We can still hear you fine.
Yeah.
So like I know that we're kind of having a shorter episode this week. So Ariel said that you can't stay for too much longer. So does anyone have anything else to add on Eddie Redmayne before we have some good news?
I think you just need to come back strong. I need you. We need you. We need Rose of Dawn in our lives. We need more videos from you. We miss you.
I am back.
Good.
I'm back for good.
Yeah.
But now for some
come back
good
with
news.
a vengeance.
Now for some good news.
I'm trying to do the same.
Really good news. This is some of the best news that you will ever hear. Hundreds of seals spotted in a rare event.
Where?
Hundreds of them. Hundreds of seals spotted off the Suffolk coast in a rare event. About 200 animals were seen in the water and on the beach at the Orford Ness National Nature Reserve, which is run by the National Trust. And look, there's some of the seals. Look at the baby seal.
Oh, I want them.
Hundreds.
I've never met
seals.
any seals in the wild, but I have met sea lions when I was in San Francisco.
They got the sea lions on
they're cute too.
Things like.
But they're obnoxious.
Is it Pier 49? Is it like there's one pier where there's like a floating barge and all the sea lions sit on it.
Yeah, that's where I went.
It was green.
In San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I went. Yeah.
Like I love it because it's like an actual tourist attraction. It's like they did was just put up a barge thing and it's just and
there's all restaurants around there, so they know people are going to eat and watch the sea lions, and that's exactly what I did, and I loved every second of it.
They are awesome.
It almost makes San Francisco sound nice.
I know. Well, that part of San Francisco was pretty.
Like I went to San Francisco and back in 2004, and I absolutely loved it when I was there. But like I from what I've been told, I don't think I could go back because it just sounds like a hellhole now.
Yeah.
Which is a massive shame because it wasn't even that long ago that it was a genuinely lovely city.
Yeah. You're allowed to walk around naked. I saw a guy like literally riding a bike naked.
Did you? I saw them like standing
Dick out and everything, and I was like,
walking out.
Yep.
So I put in.
They never are.
So I've put in the chat a link to the straw poll to see who gets this week's seal of approval. So if you can vote for myself, Mikey, or Ariel, and see who it's also in the description of the video as well. If you want, if that might be easier for some of you people to go and click on, so we can see who gets this week's seal of approval.
Yay!
So wait
What
to
do we
get a few
Do we
more
get to meet a
votes in.
seal?
Oh, you get the.
We get to like hang out with the seal if we win.
You get a seal of approval, and that means that you are now a friend of the seals.
And that's it. That's all you get.
Friends with the seals. I've never met a seal.
I just love seals. I mean, like, I know it sounds a bit
Somebody
weird.
said Ariel wins. Get the fuck out.
Right, so I think we're all up. Yep, okay, so we're going to call it. So we're at 30 votes. So drum roll, please. Someone. The winner of this week's seal of approval. Like, this is kind of embarrassing, actually. It's me.
Why is it embarrassing?
It's
Your show. I hope people vote for you.
You
It's your
deserve
show.
it.
Yeah.
So I won my own stream.
That would be embarrassing if you didn't.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly.
I know. I don't know.
Like if that were my show, I'd be like, no, never mind. We don't.
Everybody's
I've
happy
done
with
it.
it. Exactly. They're saying it in the chat. Everybody's happy that you're back.
Like I've done a couple of where I literally got no votes at all. like I was.
Well, it depends.
I was,
It
like,
depends who's the guest. I guess,
worst
too.
person on my own stream. So yeah, so seal of approval is back. Rose of Dawn videos are back. This has kind of been, this is like almost like the welcome back
Episode.
event, the welcome back episode.
I'm honored to be here for it.
Well, I think like both of you are on like the very first episodes of Seal of Approval. I think Ariel, you might have been on the first one, and Mike, I think you were on the
I was on
second.
one of the first ones.
I loved the game that you did. That's my favorite.
Oh, that was the one I did at the start of lockdown.
That was so much fun. You got to do it again.
Yes. Well, I might do something like that for Christmas actually, because I do want to have a big Christmas stream. I want to try and get everyone back on. I need to get Blair White on again. I haven't spoke to Blair in ages. I need to get her back on. I'll try my best.
I saw her.
But I know that she's very busy hanging out with Alex Jones.
That was amazing.
Yeah, she's enjoying her country girl life right now.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. Like, I really do want to move to Texas. And like, I saw
Texas
like
is
she was
great.
moving to Texas, and I would love it. One of the things I really want to do is, like, I would love to come to the States and do some sort of event, like some sort of like right-leaning, center-right, right-wing LGBT event, and just kind of do talks and stuff like that. And I would love for that to be in Texas because I really, really want a good reason to go to Texas. And if I can meet up with all my American friends in Texas and do Texas things, that would be incredible.
Don't do it in Austin. I want to go somewhere else in Texas. I meant to tell you, by the way, Ariel, you were totally right.
You didn't like it, right?
I don't think I saw you since I came back.
I told you wouldn't like it.
You were so right. You were so
Dallas
right.
is better.
Was
Dallas
that
you'd like.
Dallas again. You were right.
Mm-hmm.
I do want. I
She
think
was like, Austin sucks.
Austin sucks. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. It was.
Is
beautiful.
Austin the one near San Antonio?
Yes.
Right.
Is it?
I know. I
Hour.
need to go to San Antonio because they've got a Six Flags park there. So I do need to do that, and I need to do Dallas because Dallas has.
They have
Six Flags as well.
SeaWorld in San Antonio as well.
Yes.
You might as well go. Yeah.
I need to do that because if I come over to Texas, there's a couple of theme parks I need to do, a couple of water parks, which is one of my motivators for losing weight.
Good.
Because I'm not just going to be like, oh, my knee. I'm actually gonna lose weight. Yeah, I really want to come over to America next year and like kind
Do
of do
it.
some sort of
Somebody said
thing and see everyone.
Seal World instead of Sea World.
But that's what I mean. The one in Florida is basically Seal World. Like they have like several
In Orlando, yeah, I've been there.
exhibits just for harbor seals.
Mm-hmm.
So like I haven't been to SeaWorld in so long.
The one does
but
Dallas.
I need to go.
Austin is
Yeah, I want to
San
see more of different parts of Texas. No, I was thinking that.
All right, I gotta go, guys, because I gotta go pick up my friend before rush hour hits.
That's
here,
cool.
So.
Yeah, I gotta run too. I'm going Thanksgiving shopping.
Wow.
Well, this is probably the best time to end it then. So, like, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks both Ariel and Mikey. I'll have you guys on again real soon. Just want to get more based LGBT people on next week. We're going to have Book Angel on. He was going to be on this week, but he's just coming back from vacation. So he's going to be on next week. Who else? Who else did I ask? Sarah Higdon. I'm going to have on as well.
Her.
Yeah, she has a new vagina.
Oh, really?
I know.
Yeah. She was just in Austin for her.
Because like I know that a lot. Like
I love that.
So like she's going to be coming on as well, and there might be a few other people.
She promised that I get to see it, so I'm happy that I get to see the vagina. Yeah. It'll be the third trans vagina I've seen. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway,
going for a record.
So anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Go check out my video.
Having me, Rose. You're amazing.
I'm really glad that you both came on. There's one last thing that I want to plug though. Like just bear with me. It's just one last thing. I've completely forgot about it.
Your OnlyFans.
Wait,
she's like maybe.
No, it doesn't. Like, it's not on my Teespring store yet. You'll have to wait until next week to see what I need to plug. But anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for sending in super chats, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye, babes.
Love you guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Mwah.
Bye, Rose. You're the best.
No, thanks so much for coming on. Like,
thank you
I need
so
to
much
get